If you're going to lie, make sure the lie is plausible, Mr. President. Joe, if you're going to lie, make sure the lie has at least a chance of being believed, a chance of maybe being true. Don't insult your audience with lies that don't even make any sense. Or the best thing to do is don't answer the question at all. I'm going to describe the psychopathology of the Biden mendacity, the lies that take on a level of off the charts insanity that nothing can in any way compare. But first, let me ask you, my dear friend, please support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. We do live streams twice a day, 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern time, plus these incredibly fascinating and entertaining videos. So please sign up so you're aware of such. Joe Biden, frankly, doesn't think you're worth coming up with a good lie. Joe Biden is a number of things. First of all, he's been around for 50 years. He has known nothing but theft, corruption, graft. Where does he get all this money from? What does he live in, the DuPont, whatever? I mean, where does a guy who rose to be vice president, where does he get this money? Nobody ever asks this. Nobody cares about that. In the old days, you went into politics because you really wanted to do something. Harry Truman actually left office. He drove home, and he had at the time, I think it was his World War I pension, and that was it. He drove home to Independence with Bess and Margaret, and that was the end of it. I'm not saying we have to go back to penury for the president, but this is what public service used to be. Not anymore. So Joe Biden has such inconceivable contempt for you that he thinks you're going to believe this story that he never talked to his son about the business. Never once said, Hunter, what exactly do you do again? Hunter, we've never talked about this. What do you do? Where do you work? How do you make a living? How do you make a living supporting your hookers and meth and these nude photos of you with a gun with your finger in the trigger housing? Where does all this come from? But you know what? I'm not going to ask. Better yet, don't tell me. I'm not going to discuss this with you. You just take care of my boy, and yeah, come on, stop it. Now, what Devon Archer is going to do is he's going to come and he's going to blow the lid off of everything. And you see, one of the things now you have to understand, impeachment to most people means removal or political death sentence or something. To most people, they don't really understand what impeachment means. You say impeachment and that means something bad. And you know what? That's all it takes. Something bad, something awful, a stain. Trump got impeached twice for reasons nobody still knows. So they wait for this moment to happen. Now, up till now, Biden just kind of was there, and he was going to want to walk it around, and he, with his 81 million votes, and nobody can understand, but he kind of mumbled, and nobody saw him on the weekend, and he was kept sedated and narcotized in some, abandoned root cellar in Wilmington, handcuffed to a radiator somewhere. Kept him out of the way. Never really did anything. Showed up, signed some stuff because he was an auto pen. Then you read that dingbat Carmelita Harris and that other dingbat Karine Jean-Pierre, basically reiterating and rephrasing garbled nothing. So nobody really cared about what he had to do. Nobody really cared. Well, it was fine. And nobody really pushed it. And they said, yeah, Hunter, there's Hunter. Yeah, everybody's got a Hunter in your family. Everybody's got a drunk or weird Uncle Dave, or somebody's got, yeah. That stopped. That tolerance stopped. That's the way it goes. Stopped. It's over. And then people started to get really pissed off about this because they started to take it personally. Well, Devon Archer, is slated for the 31st of July to come forward and say, let me tell you what we did. Here's a picture of us playing golf. You know what we're talking about? Business. We're talking about Burisma. We're talking about this hedge fund that this degenerate is funding this. We're talking. I was there when Joe is sitting next to Hunter and other people as well. Don't forget the other confidential informants who say, yeah, he was there saying, I'm sitting next to the big guy or the man or whatever it is, and he doesn't like being ignored. I mean, it strains credulity. It's beyond anything anybody's ever seen. And what it is it's an insult to people to keep saying this nonsense, and it's over. Dear God, I'm telling you, it's over. It's beautiful. It's finally done. And they're going to say, why? Why didn't you just take the fifth order? Why didn't you just say, look, I don't want to talk about my son? Do you not care for us? And Joe Biden would tell you, and he would speak very clearly because he wants you to believe this notion that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He would tell you, you don't understand. I'm Joe Biden. You're a peasant. You're some prole. You're a nobody. You don't deserve a good lie. I'm going to tell you whatever I want, whenever I want to, at any time I want. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. So go away. Leave me alone. You don't understand. I'm Joe Biden. This is Hunter. We do whatever we want. He flies in. And last week, you see, this is what's important. I'm saying it again. I'm going to keep saying it until everybody understands it. Last week's collapse of the plea deal was the shadow government saying to people, reminding people, telling people that the gig's up. It's over. Pull the plug. The preferential treatment, the looking the other way, it's done. It's time to burn Hunter and Joe. They're going to be pushed out of the way. And the reason why the Democrats have to burn them is to say, see, we can do it too. It's not just about Trump. And this idiot, Jack Smith, who now is what? What is he indicting? What, the landscaper too? I mean, are you kidding? There's no end to this. And somewhere, I'm convinced there's some shadow government overlord who's looking down at this and saying to himself, you don't understand. You don't understand. You don't grasp. You can't understand that we're tired of this. You haven't done anything right. You're making this impossible. And now Bobby Kennedy's in the race. Bobby Kennedy. And now he's going to run. He's going to destroy Gavin Newsom. Going to destroy him. We're doomed. You let this get this bad. There's nothing we can do. So we just can't walk away from this. We just can't let Joe just kind of pick up his stuff and move along and take Hunter with you and say, good night. I'm old. No. They've got to crush him, grind him into pumice, teach him a lesson, and show the world, see, we mean business too. Because they have to. Because after what they've done to Trump, after what Jack Smith did, after this unhinged, unbridled pit bull that just did overkill. Ladies and gentlemen, the Democrats have just lost 2024 for so many reasons. And don't forget, too, Bobby Kennedy is going to split that party. Bobby Kennedy is showing the Democrats that these people have lost their minds. And I'm going to say this again because it's a fantasy right now. Bobby Kennedy and Tucker Carlson on a ticket. That's it. Ronald Reagan was bedtime for Bonzo. He was a governor of New California, but today it's to be you must be a communicator. And Bobby Kennedy communicates by virtue of his veracity and his integrity. People love that. They believe him. And Tucker is just he's just a natural performer. So there you have it, my friend. Devon Archer. Not to mention Tony Bobulinski. And they're going to ask him, why didn't Weiss from Delaware even call him? Because they were told to look the other way. That is now over, my friend. It is officially over. Thank you, dear, dear, dear patriot. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that little bell to be notified of new videos. And I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear your beautiful, brilliant comments as you comment as you see fit.